So this is a question that I asked Dr. Arif as well. And it's about parents willingly coming to either their pediatrician or a specialist. But say, for example, the school tells the parent, that they find irregularities in the milestone, and they would recommend them to visit a doctor. Now, how many parents do you think would know about the milestones, and also how many of them are open to visiting a specialist? Because the fear of a parent is always, would my child be labeled after this? And then there are also other concerns. You see, sometimes when it comes to doctors, they some people they generally fear going to the doctor.
Right. That's a very valid question, because I do come across that a lot as well. Parents do have a bit of a hesitancy because they do not know what the next steps would be or how this is going to affect the child. A lot of times I've had parents who would be coming in saying that, I do understand these other concerns, but we're scared this might just label the child and exclude him from his school or from his community or from the group that the child is in. And there's one thing which you would have heard me say a lot through a lot of other interviews or talks, is what I tell the parents: this is not to label but enable your child, because it's only when as a team the school's able to identify what the needs are, they can support a lot better. So when the parent comes in, we have a detailed chat with them, trying to understand what their side of concerns are or perspectives are. And we do see sometimes the children may not exhibit these behaviors at home, but they're a lot more prominent in school, be it attention, social abilities, learning abilities. And we do tell the parents that the need for having a detailed understanding is we can set up this pathway from all the sides or all the angles that are possible. And this would certainly not exclude your child in the classroom. They are going to bring forth accommodations, or they're going to modify things around to the best of their ability so that your child is thriving better, accessing the environment better. So let me give you a simple example. A child who has attention difficulties or is hyperactive, potentially having ADHD. Now, the school environment needs to also be slightly modified for this child to access better, which means the child would do better if they're closer to the teacher and not closer to the door or the window where the distractibility is a lot more. Or the child might need a lot of motor breaks, which is short breaks in between the tasks, to be able to focus better than doing tasks for a prolonged period of time. So these accommodations will help them function a lot better, right? So giving them extra time when they're working, or giving them a safe space which is a little more quieter than the rest of the class. These are small changes in the environment, but it can optimize their ability by almost double. And that becomes important. So it's only when we recognize these are the needs, the school or the teachers are able to bring forth these modifications or support your child in those areas. And that becomes very, very important. Or even like we were saying, establishing the study buddy system, or establishing peers understanding that, okay, he doesn't impulsively say out things because he means it, but because of the potential ADHD, and okay, it's all right, maybe the next time we can work towards how it is. So a lot of inclusivity builds in those angles as well. And that's the reason why it's important for them to choose the step, which is very scary, I do understand from a parent's perspective, but that's the first and right step towards getting the right help.
You did mention that sometimes at home those
behaviors.
Thank you. The behaviors are not noticed. And how is it prominent in school?
Right. So going back to our example, so let's say attention difficulties, right? Now, these are predominantly where children struggle with sustained attention for long periods of time. Now, at home, the environment is not so structured. Like, you're not expecting your kid to sit and just consistently focus on something for a very prolonged period of time, right? And perhaps in the home, the environment's a lot different. You don't have kids shouting around, somebody screaming, something happening outside, a lot of noises. So the sensory environment is a lot differently designed. So this may not necessarily bring out the challenges. But in the classroom, let's say, the same structure can cause a difficulty because I need to listen to the teacher for a prolonged period of time. And that may be challenging for me. So I get bored. I move on from one task to another. I daydream. And these get easily picked up because you are in that environment requiring those skills. But at home, may not really. Okay, he got bored, he's going and doing something else, he's coming back doing something else. So it just passes off as, the child's interests are changing rather than the difficulty that the child is having.